The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
It's a gorgeous summer day here in scenic Riverside Park in Beloit, Wisconsin. Along the banks of the Rock River, we're excited to bring you the first ever televised Kubb event, the 2018 U.S. Kubb Open. Hello, I'm Shelly Till alongside my broadcast partner, a former U.S. Kubb Open champion himself, Chris Hodges. And Chris, how excited are you to bring this event to this audience today?
Oh, we're thrilled to show off our favorite game today and to showcase the talents of some of the very best players in the country.
And for those of you tuning in wondering what exactly is Kubb, well, you're going to want to take a look at this video that explains it perfectly.
The game of Kubb is simple. To win, be the first team to knock down the Kubbs and the king by throwing wooden batons. Kubb is played on a 5x8 meter playing field called the pitch. There are 2 teams with 1 to 6 players per team. Competitive Kubb requirements vary by tournament, but typically requires a minimum of 2 to 3 players per team. To play, you'll need 10 wooden blocks called Kubbs, 5 placed on each baseline, 1 king placed in the middle of the pitch, and 6 wooden batons used for knocking down Kubbs. That's it. Your game is set, and it's time to play. The game starts with a friendly handshake at the center of the pitch. Then a baton toss towards the king determines who starts. A player from each team stands behind the baseline and throws 1 baton towards the king. The baton landing closest to the king without knocking it over wins and determines if their team will throw first or they choose a side. Game on. Team Red starts by throwing the batons at the baseline Kubbs on Team Blue's side of the pitch. Each player splits throwing the batons. In tournament play, a 2-4-6 open starts the game, meaning that the first team throws only 2 batons, then the second team throws 4, and the first team then throws all 6 batons, and 6 batons are then used through the remainder of the game. The baton must be thrown underhand and vertically. The baton should not rotate horizontally. After all the batons are thrown by Team Red, any baseline Kubbs knocked over are picked up and tossed onto Team Red's side of the pitch. These are now called field Kubbs, and once they are all thrown, Team Red will stand them upright where they landed. When raising the field Kubbs, 2 corners of the Kubb must be kept on the ground and tilted up as if they were on a hinge. Kubbs must be kept in bounds if possible, and no twisting allowed. If a Kubb is tossed out of bounds, 1 rethrow is allowed. On the second throw, if the Kubb is still not in bounds, the opposing team can place that Kubb anywhere on the pitch at least 1 baton length from the king. The throwing team, now Team Blue, must knock down all the field Kubbs before they can start attacking the baseline Kubbs and then the king. If all the field Kubbs are not cleared in that turn, Team Red gets the advantage of throwing from the closest field Kubb left standing. If a baseline Kubb is knocked over before clearing the field Kubbs, it is placed back upright and does not count. At any time during the game, if the king is knocked over before knocking down all of your opponent's baseline Kubbs, you can pack up your Kubb bags. This is an automatic loss. Play continues alternating between Team Red and Team Blue, first clearing any field Kubbs and then the baseline Kubbs. Once all baseline Kubbs are down and you have batons remaining, it's time to attack the king. Knock down the king from behind the baseline and victory is yours. And that's the game of Kubb.
We'll be back to Beloit, Wisconsin for all of the action at the 2018 U.S. Kubb Open. Welcome back to the 2018 U.S. Kubb Open here at Riverside Park in beautiful Beloit, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at some of the earlier action in the consolation bracket. Here you see the final matchup between Kubb and Kubb Express.
Kubb is out of Des Moines, Iowa, and Kubb Express is representing Lone Rock, Wisconsin.
So both of these teams getting things warmed up early on, and here you see the final shot.
Steph Kidder out of Des Moines taking that winning shot.
So congratulations goes to Kubb. There you see the winning team of Steve Feathers and Stephanie Kidder. Let's take a look moving along to Consolation Bracket B. This matchup had a bit of an international flair, Chris.
Right, Fortschritt 99 is two players. The first is Bjorn Görlitz out of Germany and a former world champion, partnered with Greg Jochimsen, who is the first and only three-peat U.S. national champion. And here's Greg taking the winning shot.
So there are your Bracket B champions, Fortschritt 99. And this is a game that you mentioned the international flair. Really, Chris, anybody can play this game.
Right, young and old, men and women. Everybody's got a place in Kubb. It's just friendly, and it's got a great atmosphere of camaraderie. We had players from 8 states and some international players join us today at the Open.
And all of them having a lot of fun, and we want you to have more fun, so come on back and join us for the round of 16. You're watching U.S. Kubb Open on Fox Sports. It's a gorgeous day here in Beloit, Wisconsin at the 2018 U.S. Kubb Open. And earlier today, I got to get out and enjoy this game, and I had a lesson from the best, my partner.
Mostly by the fingers, and you want to just really get a good spin on it when you let it go. So you want to make as small a group as possible.
I'll do my best, Coach. I'm very coachable.
Got that outside in cut going on. That's a really nice technique.
I know, I think that's like beginner's luck, kind of like when you first start golf. You're good at it. I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead. Here we're going to take a look at the round of 16, the championship bracket. All of these teams getting ready to stake their claim to become the U.S. Open champion, and here's taking a look at some of the action.
And the losers from this round of 16 will move on to the Consolation A bracket. Strikeforce Kubb came in with the #1 overall seed and breezed through. Thank Gavin with a nice win over the Kubb Snipers. Kubadoodle Dudes outlast Blocktoberfest in a 3-game match.
You gotta love the names of these teams as well. Such creativity.
It's half the fun of signing up for a tournament.
Absolutely.
Kubb sets over Kubb Fellas 2-0.
High fives all around. So there you see the first 4 teams to make it on to the quarterfinals. And 4 more to go. And as you mentioned, there's a consolation bracket. I love the story behind the L Ringers.
L Ringers over executive session here.
Got one of the youngest players. Actually, it was the youngest player and the oldest player, grandpa and grandson, in the Dave and Cy Elringer family.
Chaska Red over Grass Kickers. defending champion Phil Ghosthours on Chaska Red there. And Castaways win 2-1 over Kubb Life, and this match was just fantastic. 9 cubes or more in play all 3 games. It was just a nail biter back and forth all afternoon, but the Castaways managed to outlast. Game Day Sports Bar over the Stanley Kubrick Experience. Back to the good naming conventions here.
So that sets up our consolation bracket A, and there you see your final 2 teams, Kubb Snipers versus the Grass Kickers.
Grass Kickers out of Chisago, Minnesota and Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And the Kubb Snipers are a father-son team, Joe and J.R. Hracia out of Indian River, Michigan.
So Kubb Snipers takes the consolation bracket A final. Can't get that medal over that hat. Little excitement there. So that wraps up the Open A Bracket Championship. And coming up, a peek at another tradition here in Beloit. Welcome back to the U.S. Kubb Open here at Riverside Park in Beloit, and appropriately so, this tournament got its start along the Rock River as the Rock Paper Kubb event. Here's the Rock Paper Scissors tournament earlier today, and this is the championship. So Holly Carlson takes the championship of the Rock, Paper, Scissors tourney, and Chloe Hracia and Dan Ivanek taking 2nd and 3rd respectively. That sets us up for our championship bracket quarterfinals matchups coming right ahead.
In our first quarterfinal match here, we've got Strikeforce Kubb playing against Thank Gavin. Strikeforce Kubb just playing fantastic today. They went undefeated through the group rounds, which is very rare in this tournament system style. And Thank Gavin has one of our 3-time national champions on the team, playing with Ethan Forney, who's an incredible young player. And Strikeforce Kubb taking it all the way and sealing the deal 2-0. Have yet to give up even a single game today.
Very dominant performance thus far by Strikeforce Kubb.
Next up, we've got Kubadoodle Dudes playing against the Kubb Sets. Kubadoodle Dudes actually came into the playoffs with the 12th overall seed, and they went through the 5th seed and here defeat the 4th seed Kubb Sets. They're really punching above their weight.
And a 2-1 match in this particular matchup. So you can tell these teams are starting to get a little more serious, a little more honed in as we get into the final rounds of the Kubb Open.
L Ringers, as we mentioned earlier, the grandfather team of Dave and Cy, playing against our returning U.S. Open champion, Phil Ghosthours, playing with a different partner this year, Matt Braw. But the Ringers are able to hold on and take this match in 2 straight games.
Good job, Dave. Good job, guys. Way to play.
So Dave the Slayer Elringer gets it done and moves his team on, and we have the Castaways versus Game Day Sports Bar.
In castaways are brothers Phil and Will Dickinson out of Petoskey, Michigan. Phil actually just got back from the World Championship last week, where he and his fellow American team finished 4th place.
Pretty incredible showing. That was in Sweden, correct?
That was in Sweden. With 6-player teams, it's a huge, huge tournament. I'd love to go sometime. But Game Day Sports Bar able to push past them 2-0 here. Sealing the deal.
So it's getting heated up here. There are your semifinal teams set up. So come on back for more semifinal action. After this, you're watching the U.S. Kubb Open on Fox Sports. Downtown Beloit Farmers Market, the 2nd largest in the state of Wisconsin. The market is open every Saturday from 8 to 1, May through October. Looks like a lot of fun stuff to get there. And let's take a look at our semifinal championship bracket. We've got the 1, 2, 3, and 12 seeds represented.
Kubb Dudes just made the playoffs at the 12 seed and have really been on a tear ever since. Playing against Strikeforce Kubb, who have yet to drop even a game today, playing undefeated, just putting on an incredible show.
They do have quite the system down between Brian and Pat. Definitely know each other's strengths.
I had never played together before today, is what I just recently learned, and they have really gelled well as a team. Taking game 1.
If you're keeping track at home, the white markers underneath each team's name are the number of baseline Kubbs remaining to eliminate. The king symbol you saw there indicates games won by each team.
So you can see here that the Kubb Dudes are up 1 base Kubb to nothing, and Strikeforce Kubb won game 1, and we are in game 2. You end up getting about 60-40 odds in your favor if you hit on one of your 2 opening batons. If you miss with both, it's about 40-60 against you. But if you actually manage to hit with both of those first batons, you're winning about 75% of the time. It's a really incredible move that you can, if you can manage to put it together.
The statistician extraordinaire, Mr. Chris Hodges, who has spent countless hours figuring out the probabilities of the game of Kubb. I'm just going to trust everything you tell me. You're the genius behind it all. Brian Winstorfer trying to be the genius for Strikeforce Kubb as he knocks down a baseline Kubb.
They just got even in material there. Pat here looking to gain a slight advantage and manages to go up a baseline Kubb. So Kubb Dudes drilling 3, down 1. That was not the Kubb he was looking to get with that first baton, but a hit is a hit. They were really hoping to get out of here with 2 batons or less to take advantage of some opportunities on the baseline. But they've got 3 shots here. Let's see how many they can connect with.
He's viciously flipping that baton as he misses the first attempt. Oh, and 2 in a row.
It's going to be very important for him to connect with this baton.
That's a rough
painful
go.
miss. Painful miss by Joe there. He knows it. That cedes a lot of advantage here to Strike Force, and a beautiful group by Windstorfer there. Pat with an opportunity to clear this with a single baton. Ooh, just missed it, but still getting out of here. Clearing 3 with 2 is exactly where they want to be, with plenty of batons left over to do a lot of damage on that baseline.
Rupp.
Pat just handling his business there in the field.
They really do work very well together. It's pretty incredible that, as you mentioned, the first tournament that they've played together. Looks like they've been together for a while.
It sure does. Ooh, just a bit short there.
Windstorfer, he's a competitor. He gets upset when he misses those shots.
Taking a quick step away from the baseline sometimes is the right call, to just reset yourself and focus on that next shot. And Pat Money coming in on that last baton. Kubb Dudes down 4 Kubbs to 1. They really need a great round here. And that first baton just needed to pick up a little more material there. One at a time is just not good enough here. They have to be getting more with these batons.
Really rough go that time.
Yeah, they're in this game state, down 1 game in game 2. They really needed this round to be one left over for the baseline. Really gonna need to connect here. And he got it.
But still, Strike Force Kubb in good position right here.
Yes, they're definitely in position to win the game and the match in this round.
And Windstorfer really putting some thought into where to place these Kubbs on the drill.
Very well done. We've got 6 Kubbs in play here. And Pat looking to hopefully clear with 3 or less, which will put them in excellent position to finish the game here.
Great
4
first
with
shot.
1. Those are the kind of shots you love to see.
Just the way you do it, right, Chris?
That's what I'm always trying for.
So Rupp going to take his time on this at this final go.
Nice pickup. All right, so Brian now with 3 batons and 1 target left in the field. That first miss was okay. He can still win the game here if he connects on this baton. He knows it, taking his time. Kubb Dudes are going to get at least 1 more turn here. Let's see if they can continue their incredible run and continue with the upsets.
So 1 more opportunity for Kubb Dudes to make it a game here.
If they want to win this round, they're going to have to clear all of these field Kubbs with 2 batons. And with this group, it's not looking incredibly likely.
Especially
they need to
not
get a
with
lot
that.
more with that first baton.
Absolutely.
But they can still get a lot of damage done on the baseline. If they can force Strike Force Kubb to drill 9 or 10 Kubbs, they very well may live to play 1 more round and get another shot. Nice double on the outside. They're picking that up. With another double. Excellent play. So Joe here is going to want to pick up this field Kubb with 1 and get 2 more on the baseline. Ouch. There we go.
So 3.
At this point, we just need to put as many Kubbs in Strike Force's hands as we can to hope we can live for 1 more round. Ah, that's painful. They know that they're not in good position here. And Strike Force just smelling the blood in the water here. They really are putting together a nice group, and they're looking to close the game right now. They don't want to give Kubb Dudes any more chances.
Now the strategy becomes, how do we set these up?
They were not given too many choices. Those Kubbs that are on the sidelines there are forced in together, and Brian laid a lot of those right on the line. They were all forced together.
And you heard Damien just yell back, at least you gave us a shot. The sportsmanship in this game is paramount to any sport that really I've ever seen.
Oh, what a fantastic shot out of Pat. 7 with 1. Now they've got 5 batons for the King. It looks like this game is all but over.
The crowd loved that one. That even brought a smile to Pat's face.
Fantastic group, fantastic throw. Oh, and he missed the King. Oh. Well, luckily they've got 4 more tries at it.
Maybe he was still a little too excited from that 7 for 1.
There we go. On to the finals for Strike Force Kubb, continuing their undefeated streak.
Handshakes all around, hugs, well-earned victory by Strike Force Kubb. So Pat Rupp with the 7 for 1 attack. He erupts Strike Force Kubb into the championship. Come on back for more. The Double B Farm and Country Cafe in Beloit offers home-cooked breakfast and lunch on a real working farm. Apparently, everyone loves the duck butt muffins because they're made with real butter and duck eggs. Sign me up for one of those, Chris. So there you see it, our championship bracket, and Strike Force Kubb awaits their opponent in the finals as we get ready for the L Ringers and Game Day Sports Bar.
The L Ringers is a grandfather and grandson, Dave and Cy, playing together. Dave is a former U.S. national champion and former U.S. Open champion. Cy has also played very well, especially this year. The two of them played together in a semifinalist team at the national championship this year. It looks like we're cutting to some action here early in game 1, where the Ringers happen to leave an advantage line, and Game Day Sports Bar is looking for the best way to clean this up and move on to game 2.
So the advantage line comes as a result of what, Chris?
If a team fails to clear all of the field cubes that they have thrown into play, then the opposing team will get to throw their batons from that spot, or from a line that runs through the center of it.
So you can see that Kubb up at the top of your screen, just kind of that imaginary line is drawn all the way across.
Yep, it's very important to clear your fields every round. Leaving an advantage line is usually disaster. Game Day winning game 1.
They made easy work in game 1. There you see the King icon next to Game Day Sports, so they're looking to try to advance to the finals in game 2 here.
Game 2 getting started with our 2-4-6 open. Game Day Sports Bar will get 2 batons here in the first, and it's very important that they connect with at least one of these 2 batons.
So Bevers misses the first one. This is Arneson.
Arneson connects with his.
And Cy
L.
Elringer
Ringers
taking a shot at it.
at 14 years old. Already proving to be one of the best players in the country.
And from what we've seen today, he's one of the best drillers in the game.
Absolutely, his short game is second to none. And Dave L. Ringer, the legend, getting it done at 8 meters. And it looks like that Kubb was drilled out of bounds twice by Chad Bevers, so Cy is placing that penalty Kubb wherever he wants on the pitch. You get 2 attempts, and if you're out of bounds twice, then the opposing team gets to decide where that Kubb goes.
And the advantage of Cy placing that Kubb where he did is what?
He's just trying to make sure that it costs at the minimum 1 baton, and if they place it at an odd position on the pitch that people aren't used to throwing at, then maybe they'll soak up an extra 1 or 2 batons as misses.
But Game Day Sports responds well, knocking that down, and Arneson going for the baseline.
Up 3 Kubbs to 1 here. The Ringers really want to have a very good round.
And here's the drilling prowess you see right there of young Cy Elringer, giving Game Day Sports something to think about.
Cy really wanted to get 2 there. He's got a couple more shots at doubles here. That split does not help the cause much. That's pushing Dave all the way to the side to take a really hard angle at this, and wasn't quite able to pick up the double. The field is clear, but it took 4 batons to get there. They really wanted to do better than that. Now it's vitally important they connect on these 8-meter shots.
You can see at the bottom of Elringers, they still have 4 white marks there, meaning they've got 4 baseline Kubbs to knock down as Dave picks up one of them.
So Game Day Sports with a 1 base Kubb advantage and the end of the turn. They're in a commanding lead here. Nice double out of Lars. Wow, another split. Really
this is
wanted
a
to
tough
get more
one
there.
here too, split by the 2 that are remaining.
And clearing this group with 3 was the magic number, because that would have put them in position to win on this turn. And we're not able to do that. So at this point, once again, they're looking at trying to get a clear field, clear baseline. Once again, putting as many Kubbs into the hands of the Ringers as they can. Nice shot out of Chad. And their baseline is clear.
So about as good as it could be expected after taking as many batons as it did for those field Kubbs.
With 7 Kubbs to drill and 3 base Kubbs remaining, the Ringers really need to have a strong round here. They're looking to clear their field with only 2 batons, leaving 4 Kubbs or 4 batons remaining to clear their baseline and get the king. It's a reasonable group. 2 might be possible, but they're going to have some fantastic shots here. Great work, but it's not putting them in position to win this turn. They can still do a lot of damage on their baseline, and ooh, that miss was costly.
So Cy going to step up and try to knock it down.
All right, Game Day Sports Bar with all the momentum right now. I know Chad was hoping to get a better group there.
So Dave and Cy both talking about the strategy, trying to make it as difficult for Game Day Sports Bar as possible, but they're set up pretty well here.
The group could have been a lot better. I'm sure Chad wishes he could have got that one back, but they've got 5 batons they can spend on this group. They should be in position.
Oh, costly miss from Lars. Oh, wanted that double. It still looks like it's still going to be up. Now they're not thinking about winning this turn. They're thinking about getting out of this without leaving an advantage line. And that miss is not going to help the cause. Left two field cubes standing and an advantage line for the Ringers. This is exactly the opportunity that the Ringers need to get back into this game in this match.
So as we mentioned, that advantage line.
We need to clear this group with 2. There's the first one. I really wanted more there. Clearing this with 2, and now they're going to have to find some way to connect this field cube to a base cube. Need to get 2 with 1 here in order to put themselves in position to win. He knew he needed it, and he put the extra muscle into it and cost him the hit. With this advantage line, they really needed a better round here. They really wanted a better round.
Yeah, great opportunity for L-Ringers and just could not convert. So Game Day Sports Bar breathing a sigh of relief.
You can see that Chad was not happy with his group last time, and he wasn't going to let it happen again. That is a fantastic group. So once again, with an empty baseline, they've got up to 5 batons to spend here and still have 1 left for the king.
Not a good
You
start.
still don't want to be throwing misses, though, for sure. Triples are more like it.
This is really where the mental side of this game comes into play.
Yes, it does. And a nice double. So to clear here, Chad's going to need to get a double and a single and then have 1 left for the king. This double is not easy to get, and a fantastic shot. The debris of downed cubes in between those 2 was what really made that shot tricky, and he nailed it. It was very well done. And Game Day Sports Bar is on to the finals.
Travers does an excellent job of knocking down the king, and so Game Day Sports Bar taking that semifinal match 2-0. Excellent work. So our final match is set. We will be back with all of the action of the 2018 US Kubb Open.
It's all we know. We're busy dreaming. It's all we know. We're busy dreaming. It's all we know. We're busy dreaming.
Welcome back to Beloit. Merrill and Houston's Steak Joint offers fabulous steak and seafood and exceptional service. Its rustic feel, hardwood floors, and cool historic photos all make for an unforgettable night out. We are all set for our championship match between Strike Force Kubb and Game Day Sports Bar.
Strike Force Kubb is our #1 overall seed today, and that is Brian Winstorfer out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and Pat Rupp out of Elbron, Iowa, playing against Game Day Sports Bar, who earned the #2 seed today, and that is Chad Bevers out of Appleton, Wisconsin, and Lars Arnson out of Madison, Wisconsin. Strike Force here with a very tricky double in the field. They are looking at probably getting out of here with 2 batons. And Pat hits it with a single. That was a very tricky shot, and it's very important for them to get
a lot of batons here at the 8-meter shots.
Winsdorfer really going to work on those baseline cubes.
Brian going 3 for 3 there. An incredible round, hitting that 2-cube ace in the field, followed by 3 for 3. And Pat just keeps it up with a 4th. And gets all 5. What an amazing round. What an amazing round out of Strikeforce Kubb.
Don't see that very often. That
Almost
efficiency.
never. They're definitely showing why they're in the championship today and the #1 overall seed.
So there you see the king icon there. That indicates game 1 to Strikeforce Kubb. Reminder, it takes 2 out of 3 to win the match and the championship.
Viewers might be interested to know that Chad Bevers and Brian Winsdorfer actually were teammates 2 weeks ago and won a tournament together in Stoughton, Wisconsin. So these are definitely players that know each other very well here on the pitch today.
And somebody's going to get to go home with real bragging rights between the two of them. There you see how Strikeforce Kubb got to this position. Again, the white markers underneath the team names indicate the cubes remaining, the baseline cubes that they need to knock down.
Brian wanted a little bit better round there. Oh, blanking on this one. We got a really slow start to this game. I think the nerves might be getting to the players out there today.
Absolutely. There's a bit of a purse involved in this event. So as we mentioned all throughout the day, it's a lot of fun, but we're getting into crunch time right now.
This is one of the few Kubb tournaments with a cash purse.
Bevers
There we
finally
go.
connects.
Getting into some action now.
Sometimes it just takes knocking down that first one to get it going, right?
Lars just needed his partner to get one, and now he's on fire. There's a 2 for 2.
Arneson taking his time to make sure he can get connected on this one.
Oh, just missed it. Still, 3 Kubb round is a very good round. Game day has to be very excited with that one. Strikeforce just taking a minute. Down 3 Kubbs. This is a tough hole to climb out of. They're going to have to stay collected and put together a very good round right now.
So as he's tossing these cubes, or as you refer to it as drilling, what's the strategy with this?
Well, you definitely want to keep them as close as you can to each other, and you want to use the center line and the sideline. The boundaries can definitely be your friend as a driller, because a cube cannot be raised so that it is standing out of bounds or even touching the line. So the closer you can get to those lines, the more your opponent is forced to stand the group together, and the fewer batons it's going to take you to clear them out.
And that's why you saw Bevers and Arneson taking their time there, discussing how they wanted to stand those up.
Nice double out of Pat here. Clearing 3 with 2 is pretty standard. That's always going to be the goal. I mean, you want to get it with 1 if you can, but clearing with 2 and getting 4 batons for the baseline is where most teams really are going to be happy with getting to. Oh, almost got that one on the baseline for free. As long as the field is cleared on the throw, if you happen to knock into a baseline cube, that is a legal play, and it counts as being down. So that's a big momentum shift.
So Winsdorfer trying to stay hot here on the 8-meter game. Oh, he just misses that one.
Possibly just a little overexcited today. There he goes. Corrected down.
He does like to show his emotion on those shots, win or lose on those.
Come on now.
Rupp taking his time on this shot. A little too much time maybe on that one. So the
Here we are
strategizing continues.
on the next round, setting up the Kubbs. We're looking at how to make this cost the most for Game Day Sports. Looks like it was a pretty well-drilled group. I think clearing these with 2 is absolutely reasonable. That hit isn't going to help them with their cause.
Just getting 1 for 1 here.
Yeah, 1 for 1 is not enough in the championship rounds. We really need to clear these out quickly so you can take as many shots at the baseline as you can.
And on the flip side, if you're Strike Force Kubb, you're cheering this on. They want them to expend as many batons as possible.
Well, it's got to make them feel like they made the right decisions while bringing those Kubbs up. That's the goal, is to make them each take 1. Game Day knows they wanted a better round there. Strike Force Kubb putting together another fantastic group. Brian Winstorfer just really drilling out of his mind today.
And Chris, you refer to this as the economy of the batons. Explain what that means.
Well, the batons are a resource that you get. It refreshes once every round. You get your 6, and you want to get as much possible material as you can with those 6. So you're limited in that resource. You want to play economically. You want to get out of the field as quickly as you can and topple as many base Kubbs as you can. And another fantastic field shot out of Pat Rupp.
Talk about knocking down as many cubes as you can.
That is the name of the game. That is the name of the game. He is putting on a clinic. Brian taking advantage of the opportunities that were handed to him by his partner. These guys are just clicking together and nailing every phase of this game.
Just missed it. And Winstorfer's had several opportunities. Almost like he takes the time and then can't connect, and he rebounds on that one.
Strike Force with 1 single base Kubb left. The difference between having 1 remaining and 0 is huge. Absolutely huge. All right, Game Day being down by 1 base Kubb here. They're down 4 Kubbs to 3 with 7 in play. The game is just about even, really. If you're down 1 base Kubb, those guys showing their camaraderie from the prior tournament.
I think he's really giving him good advice right now, though.
I would be suspect of it myself. So being down 1 base Kubb on your turn, since you have the advantage of the momentum and the batons, being down 1 base Kubb means the game is just about even. So we're playing a very tight game here. And Game Day Sports Bar is really looking to take a commanding lead. They're looking for a great round. Very well played out of Lars.
So Chad Bevers is going to step up and try to clear out these field Kubbs.
This is a very tricky double, but it's there. Fantastic shot. Fantastic shot. He used the debris. He used the Kubb that was already down to knock into the other 2 Kubbs. That's expert level stuff right there. Oh, and not capitalizing on the opportunity on the baseline.
So they had him where they wanted him, but Bevers couldn't connect.
Just slipped away.
So back to the other side, Strike Force Kubb.
Strike Force Kubb. Looks like they cleared out their field very efficiently, and they have the opportunity here to seal the tournament right here. Game 2 in the finals. Oh, Winstorfer missed the king shot.
He can't believe it.
just in shock. And that was their 6th baton. So Game Day Sports is going to get one more opportunity here. They're gonna need to have a great round. They've got 2 base cubes left. They have to clear with 3. If they clear the field with 3 batons, they'll have enough batons left over to win the game this turn. They needed more out of that 2nd baton. He has to clear here. Okay, well, they're not going to be winning the game this turn, but once again, they need to be thinking about how to put as many cubes as possible in Strikeforce's hands. They hit the double. All right, this is an important shot for Lars. And he got it. Well done.
They did about as good as they could recovering after not being able to start off strong with those field cubes.
That was a very painful miss there in the field. Winstorfer putting together another fantastic group.
So the beauty of this game is there's several times where you get to breathe that sigh of relief when the other team doesn't connect. And right now, that's Strikeforce Kubb, with Winstorfer going to get a chance to redeem that miss on the king in the last round.
Sometimes the game really is about being the last one to stumble. Game Day knows that this is a really well put together group. They're just hoping for some mistakes. Their destiny is no longer in their control.
So Rupp steps up.
Strikeforce knows they've got the advantage here. They just have to put together a few more good batons and they can walk out of here as US Open champions. Fantastic triple there from Rupp.
He really cleared a path for himself to get those final 4.
And again, with no base cubes remaining, they can spend up to 5 batons here. Although, with the miss in the last round, maybe they want to give Brian 2.
I'm sure he would appreciate that.
Well, it looks like he's going to get 3. A fantastic 3 batons out of Pat to clear 9 cubes with only 3 batons.
Will it take 3?
One's all it takes.
The kill, the baton drop, and the hug from the partner.
2018 US Kubb Open champions. Well played, Strikeforce.
Winstorfer pumped up with that final performance.
All the way through the entire day, the group rounds, the elimination bracket, didn't lose a single game. Nobody put a king down on him today. It's fantastic. What a performance.
And domination by Strikeforce Kubb. Come on back and we'll have a chat with your champions. All right, we have your 2018 US Kubb Open champions, Strikeforce Kubb. Brian, you made it interesting on that last turn, and how were you able to redeem yourself?
By breathing. Again, you just got to breathe. That's it. Just breathe and trust in yourself and trust in your teammates.
Hey, Pat, I know that in the past you've finished 2nd and 3rd here at the US Open. Can you tell us what it feels like to finally break through and get that gold?
It's been a while. It's been coming. It's great. I can't even express how this feels.
Well, guys, this is the first TV televised Kubb event in the United States. So I know you're both very passionate about this game, but what is it that you love so much about Kubb?
I'd say the people and the competition and the camaraderie. It's amazing every single time, every single tournament, just everything.
The different strategies. It's more than a one-dimension game. You have to be good at several different skills, and it just brings out the best in people.
Well, you guys did an excellent job today. Congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 U.S. Kubb Open champions, Strikeforce Kubb. That wraps our coverage of the 2018 U.S. Kubb Open in Beloit. Our special thanks go to Kubb United and Visit Beloit. If you'd like to be part of the fun and excitement, you can join next year on August 10th for the 2019 U.S. Kubb Open. For Chris Hodges, I'm Shelley Till. Thanks for joining us here on Fox Sports.